Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amy. If you're brand new here, I apologize that this video is a little late, as well as last week and probably in the next few weeks as well. It's just been a really busy summer. I have more family coming over to visit. My brother just had a baby a few weeks ago. There was a lot of birthday celebrations as well, including mine this past week. So it was a busy month. So for today's video, I wanted to discuss a few hot topics, and they were all your questions. The bags that I'm currently lusting for, the bags that I'm lusting for but would not buy, the bags that I own or owned and that I would not rebuy. So I'm gonna start off with bags that I owned or own but would probably not repurchase. There is the Chanel Deauville Tote, the Gucci Marmont Velvet Mini Bag, I know. There's also the Saline Trapeze, and I have the PM size, the Speedy B25, as well as the Alma. I'll put a picture of the Deauville Tote right here. It is just basically a fabric tote from Chanel, and it is really popular and really hot and still a very coveted item. To be very honest, all these bags that I just mentioned I still really love, and if you know, budget or just like money is no issue at all, I would probably just keep everything and just hoard everything. But that's not my personality. I don't like to keep stuff that I don't reach for or that I realize that are not really for my lifestyle. The main issues I have with it is that it is quite a heavy bag to begin with, even though it is just mostly fabric, but there is kind of a bit of hardware and a bit of leather, because there's really no point in carrying a large tote and just have a couple of things in it. I have tons of small bags for that. So it just boils down to not fitting my lifestyle. It's a beautiful tote, and I still think that it looks so cool when I carry it. The combination that I had was in denim and orange font, and I loved it so much. I honestly would just keep it if money was no issue and that I have unlimited amount of space to just keep everything, but that's not the case. And so that is why, even though I still really love the bag, and every time I see a new iteration of it and I'm really tempted to get it again, but it just is not practical for me at all. The Gucci Marmont Mini, and I know probably a lot of you will be very surprised that I mentioned this, so here it is. Even though I love this bag and I'm glad that I got it when I got it, just for whatever reason, whenever I reach for a black mini bag or just even just like a evening black bag, I never tend to even reach for this. I don't know why. I mean, I loved using it every time I did, and I still stand by my original review. I still believe that it is a great bag, and I still think that it's classic enough that I think that even if Marmont were to not exist anymore in the Gucci line, that, you know, people would still see it and recognize it, and it will still be a classic in my opinion, especially given the flap bag shape and everything. And velvet is just a really beautiful nighttime and also fall and winter time fabric. I guess the best explanation for this that I can come up with is that I have so many mini bags that when it comes to choosing one, this comes last for some reason. If I were to go with a small mini bag, I have two small Chanel mini bags that I would reach for even before going to this one. And when it comes to more colorful or just a non-black mini bag, I would just reach for any of my Fendis or even the LV Palm Spring. And it's not even so much about the fact that it's velvet. In fact, I love the velvet. It really is just boils down to, I guess, how I dress. I don't want to discourage the ones of you who love this bag, because I still believe, like I said, I still believe in my review. I still think that it's a great bag. But for some reason, with all the combinations of mini bags that I have, I just don't end up reaching for it as often as I thought I would, as much as I love this bag. So having said that, I think that if I had known, or if I were given a chance again to repurchase another Marmont bag, I would probably not do it, because it's just not something that I reach for, which is interesting to find out. So I have even contemplating selling it several times, But yeah, I haven't posted it yet, so I don't know. If you guys are interested, maybe let me know and we'll see. The Saline trapeze. This is the small size. I love, love, love this bag. I would probably never repurchase this bag again, especially at full retail price. That is probably the main mistake that I made. In hindsight, obviously, I'm not really gonna do anything about this bag. I'm keeping this bag because I really like it, and it's a really beautiful bag. I honestly love carrying this one, and you know, I can work with this bag for some reason. I really just love the style of it, and I think it goes with my overall wardrobe, especially when I wear a bigger coat or just like really sleek t-shirt and jeans type of wear. I really love carrying this. It looks really good together. The only, really, like I said, the only reason why I'm mentioning it is that I would not repurchase this bag at retail price, only because Saline itself as a brand doesn't really hold their value that well. And so if I had the chance to redo it, I would probably look for second hand, but in a pristine, like excellent condition. I'm not really regretting this purchase, but I'm just saying, if given the opportunity to repurchase, I would not redo it, at least not at the retail store. That is not to say that this is the case for all Saline bags. There is another Saline bag that I really still want to add to my collection, which I will discuss later. And I don't know if I should purchase that, you know, retail or not, but for this particular one, I feel like because it's not one of the main bags that I reach for constantly, even though I do love it, I felt like maybe I should have bought it secondhand. The Alma, so I have this in the AP leather and the Cassis color, which is kind of a purple color. It's a pretty dark purple, but depending on the light, maybe even daylight, it looks like a lighter purple, but it's really beautiful and basically like a new condition handbag. This is the old version, so it doesn't come with feet. I mentioned the Alma PM, or the Alma in general, only because having had both the Alma BB and the Alma PM, I feel like the shape itself, even though it's very feminine and very classic, it's just a little hard to organize things inside. I just think that I do much better with flat bag styles, or even just mini bucket styles or tote styles. In general, I don't really like black holes or bags with tons of space that is kind of hard to get in and out of. With this bag, it's not so hard getting in and out of if you open it all the way, which is easy to open all the way because the zippers go all the way down. However, having to open and close it all the time, that's when I feel like it's less practical for me. I still love it though. That's the problem. I still really love the Alma shape because it is a classic, and there is a lot of bags also nowadays that are similar to this shape, such as the Gucci Ophidia, which I kind of want to get, but at the same time I'm also afraid that maybe it's too similar to this shape where I'm not gonna like it. But at least that one has a crossbody strap. The last bag that I mentioned is the Speedy B25. I have mine currently in this monogram and bachetta. I even have this hot stamp little luggage tag that I brought to Singapore to get hot stamped. I know this is a very, very popular bag, probably the most popular bag out there, along with the Neverfull, which is kind of crazy because one of my first LV bag is a Speedy. I had a Speedy 30 Classic, and I always thought that, you know, there's no way I'm gonna like the Neverfull because it's too open. And yet now I believe totally in the Neverfull. I have two of them and I love them, whereas the Speedy I'm less in love with. So even though I do own one and I totally love the look of it and I totally fall back in love with it every time I carry it. I would not repurchase another one. And you guys, if you followed me for a while, you guys know that I own this same very bag, also the Speedy B25 in demi ébène, and I sold it. I mentioned for that one that I did not like the leather on it because it was cutting too much on my shoulder, which I still stand by it. I definitely much prefer the vachetta, but the fact that the size 25 does have more of a constricting opening, I'm just not as big of a fan of it. I just find that getting in and out of it is not as practical, or it's not like hard or anything. I guess I just find it annoying, I suppose. And if it wasn't because I had the opportunity to buy this in Europe and thus saving a lot on a beautiful classic that I always loved anyway, like I do love the style, I would never really have bought it again. And of course I will probably not sell this one either because it's a special purchase for me. But having said that, I will not rebuy another Speedy B25. Before I continue further along, I just want to mention maybe that please guys, don't take offense in any of the things that I mentioned in terms of the reasons that I brought up with the several bags that I showed. I know that a lot of them are very popular bags. There's a reason for it, and that's probably also one of the reasons why I got into it as well. In the end, each bag has its own pros and cons as well, and sometimes the cons don't matter to us and sometimes they do. Moving on to a list of bags that I am currently lusting for but probably would not buy. Chanel backpack, and I'm referring to pretty much all Chanel backpack, especially the leather ones. The Chanel medium large classic flap, the Diorama from Dior, the Prada Cahier bag, the Dior tote, the Dior book tote, or even like the Fendi tote, the Fendi Mon Tresor, the Neo Noe, as well as the Givenchy Pandora. Now, okay, I know that I mentioned quite a few bags out there, and some of them I actually have, so you might be wondering what the heck is going on, but I'll explain. The reason why, even though I'm lusting for any sort of Chanel backpack, honestly, but there is one that I tried on recently with my friends. I forget the name right now, but I will put a picture beside me so that you guys can see it. Honestly, it's such a beautiful bag, and the one that I tried is in the small size in chevron calfskin, and it was beautiful. Black leather, silver hardware. It was so good. And as much as I lust for a Chanel backpack, any Chanel backpack to be honest, I will probably never take the plunge because I don't really wear backpacks all that much. The Chanel Medium Classic Flap is a bag that I've mentioned probably several times in my past wish lists, that I've always been lusting for one and that I'm waiting for the perfect one to appear on the secondhand market. But having said that, I don't know, I just have never even seen one on even the pre-love market that I found acceptable in terms of condition, and I will probably never buy it from the retail because it costs just way too much. I think any bags that are above the $5,000 range is just a bit too much for me. I love bags because I love fashion and I love styling different ways, but when it gets to that point of above 5,000, in my mind it gets really uneasy, and I don't know how many $5,000 or above price range bags that I can really swallow spending on. Honestly, that's just personal. Of course, I know everybody has different thresholds, but for me personally, I cannot. I just physically feel sick thinking about it. So that is the reason why, even though I do lust for medium large, I think it's a classic and I think that it's a must-have, that I will probably never end up buying one. And yeah, I think that's the main reason, because even in the pre-love market, the ones that are in the conditions that I like is in the price range that I'm not willing to afford. It's not that I will never ever buy one, but for sure never retail, and for sure never in a condition below what I want, or in a price above what I want, basically. Same thing goes with the Diorama. The Diorama is a bag that I've tried many times after I had a chance to own the Chanel boy bag. I think when I compared the two, between the Chanel boy bag and the Diorama, I do prefer the Diorama style because I do find it more feminine, but at the same time I find it more edgy and just more my style, I suppose. In the end, it boils down to just my personal preference. Having said that, I also don't think that I will buy that one because, again, the price range is just a little bit up there, a little bit too much. And I guess I don't love the bag that much that I feel like I need to get it necessarily. Don't get me wrong, all of the above bags that I mentioned, if I have a chance to get them at a ridiculously good price or if they were given to me, of course I will take them. I think it applies to everyone, having said that, but I guess I'm just trying to be very specific and depict all of the you know, different reasons, and just in general I think the Diorama is beautiful and I do lust for it, but not enough for me to get it, I suppose, especially not at the current retail price. And even on the secondhand market, they're not always the most well priced either, and even if they were, they would probably not be in the color and condition that I love. The product Cahier bag is a hot bag at the moment. Cahier means notebook or book in French, and so the bag itself kind of looks like a book with the little flap that goes through the metal part. The weight of it is definitely an issue. I think I've given enough chance to different bags in the past that are on the heavier side that I know that in the end, even though I do love the bag or the style of the bag or how they make me feel when I carry them, I know that at the end of the day, if they're so heavy, it will take away from the joy of owning it. So I think even though it's such a cool bag and it's such a hot bag at the moment, I will probably never get it as well. The Dior book tote, or even the Fendi tote, I don't know what's the name of the Fendi tote, but basically I'll try to put a picture beside me. Again, I love totes, but I already have two. I have two Neverfulls, and to be very honest, I think Neverfulls just suit me better. I think that they're sturdy, structured, and lightweight enough that I really do enjoy using them, and they're also classics. I think if anything, the Neverfull as a canvas bag from LV is they're probably one of my most favorite bags from LV. I love Vachetta on it. I also have the World Tour version with the black trim, so I basically have both of the best world. I have one that's weatherproof with all my customization, and I have one that's more summery with Vachetta, and I have a beautiful patina on it already. So I basically essentially have the totes that I need already, and I don't really need another tote. Even if I have the opportunity to say buy the Dior book tote or even a Fendi one, that I would probably not really reach for them. I'll be happy that I own them, but I'll probably not really reach for them that much, because if I were to reach for a tote, I'll probably just go to my LV, because my LV is so much more comfortable and so much more practical, and I know that they work for me because they have been working for me. You guys might be really surprised that I mentioned the Fendi Mon Tresor bucket bag, which here it is. I have one here in the red color and the beige. The reason why I mentioned it again is because I love this bag so much that I want to get it in the brown one. I wanted to get it in the brown and black. I probably want to get it in just the all black, and I want to get it in the plain color with different types of embellishments on it. I just really like this bag. I always try my best to be reasonable with my collection. I am not gonna go ahead and buy the other iterations of this, even though I really want to, because this little guy, even though it doesn't look like much, I really enjoy it. It goes with everything. It's definitely my style. It's the perfect size mini bag, and I love it so much. I can't say enough good things about it, and I'm so glad that I have one. The Givenchy Pandora bag is such a cute bag, and when I saw several bloggers come up with it and style theirs, Mel especially, she has one in red, and Penny has them in black and red. I love the guitar strap one especially because it's so cool, and Logomania again is such a big trend. Even though this bag is so cool, I will probably not add it in my collection either, just because I feel like the opening will kind of annoy me a little bit, and I'm kind of glad that I never got it, because after the Fendi bucket bag, the Mon Tresor bag came out, I guess I was just glad that I waited and did not take the plunge on the Pandora and instead bought the bucket bag from Fendi, because I love it so much more. It just suits my lifestyle and just my overall styling as well, just so much more. So I'm kind of glad that I never got the Pandora, even though I kind of was like really on the verge of getting one. But yeah, having said that, I will not get it anymore, even though I did lust for it for a long time. Finally, the LV Neo Noe. It's another iteration of the bucket bag trend from LV. It came out maybe a couple years now, and it's such a great bag. I had the chance to try it on as well when it first came out, and honestly I think it's a great bag. If I were to add another LV bag, that's probably the one that I would go for. If I were to not have my Neverfulls or the Speedy that I have, I would definitely consider getting the Neo Noe. Alright, so the next topic is bags that I'm currently lusting for. So for the Lady Dior, I've been going back and forth at the store. I love the small size, which is the My Lady Dior, the one with the customizable pins on the strap. I also like the mini size. I do find that the size is very cute and dainty. I also love the chain detail on it. I guess what's really preventing me from getting that one is the fact that it is quite small. Even though the bag itself doesn't look that small when you carry it, what you can actually fit in it is actually very constricting. So that's kind of an issue for me, and that's why I haven't taken the plunge yet. And so I was considering the size up, which is the My Lady Dior, and I literally almost bought it, but I couldn't get over the fact that, again, it's in that price range where it's just a little too much, and I was getting really uneasy with myself. I thought to myself, I'll sleep on it, and I did, and I'm okay with the fact that I didn't get it yet, but at the same time I'm still thinking about it all the time. In other words, I'm just having a little bit of a hard time taking the plunge, even though I'm really lusting for one. The Gucci Ophidia. I tried the Gucci Ophidia in almost all the sizes. I tried the mini one that's this big, I tried the dome shape that's this big, and then also tried... Have I even tried their large one? No, I have not, because they were never available. But I tried the one that kind of opens with a magnet in the between, and there's like a chain. And the Gucci Ophidia still really is attractive to me. I think I do like the idea that it's more on a casual side. I like the idea that the canvas is one of the casual vibe giving, and also just like an everyday bag sort of thing. Between the mini size and that dome shaped one, I do prefer the mini size, to be very honest, but I do think that it is kind of small and limiting, and so if I were to go with the Ophidia, I would probably go with the dome shape size. So I'm lusting for it. I'm not kidding, I'm still lusting for one. I don't know if I'll ever pull the trigger, but I'm lusting for one for sure. The Saline Nano Luggage. Oh my goodness, this bag has been on my radar for so long. It's such a beautiful classic. It's the right size for me. It's very similar to all the money bags that I have that I tend to like and gravitate towards. Easy to get in and out of, very practical, suitable for my lifestyle and my overall dressing. So I am definitely lusting for one. Last but not least, I am still in love with Chanel. I always will, and I just like to get something from Chanel that is not in black color, because so far all my bags from Chanel are in black. And someone asked which one is a better investment, jewelry or bags. Again, I think this is very subjective. If you love jewelry more, or if you don't care about bags, then of course definitely jewelry. But because I'm a bag lover, I think that bags are definitely more worth the investment. And I want to use the word investment very loosely, unless you're willing to wait a long time, to wait out a period of time, and also to keep the item in pristine condition. Even if we're talking about houses, really, anything, if you want to keep it as an investment, you kind of have to do that. And so I do want to say that bags, even though they are more of an investment to me, because I do take really good care of them, and if ever there is a bag that I find out is not really useful or practical or fitting to my lifestyle, then at least I have a better chance of selling them. Unless it's a limited edition, everybody is trying to get their hands on, they really don't become investments automatically. And I guess for jewelry, if you get into fine jewelry, the investment that you get from jewelry is the raw material that they're made of. That's how I look at it. Maybe I just don't know enough about it, but I do feel that for me personally, handbags are definitely better investment. I know some of you will probably start asking, this necklace is actually from Happiness Boutique. It is a rose gold plated necklace, and it's really pretty. It definitely does remind us of the V from the Louis Vuitton collection. Also, if you're not willing to buy the LV one, which the LV one I believe is not even gold plated, it's just whatever material they use, but it is really good quality, and it is obviously LV. So this is definitely a really good dupe, even though this is a little bit smaller, but it's very dainty, and I do like that it's gold plated. I believe they have it also in sterling silver, but I did choose mine in the rose gold plating, and it's really cute. And it comes with this chain attached, and you have a little bit of a leeway. It's from Happiness Boutique. It comes with this little packaging, and it's very simple. It's just like this. They have items that are gold plated, and they also have items that are just costume jewelry, so not plated with anything or anything, but it's just like, you know, cute designs. So if you guys are interested, I'll put all those links down below, and I'll try to get you guys a discount code as well, so I'll try to include that down below. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know that it was a little late, but nevertheless I tried to make a video of what you guys wanted to hear and see. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this big discussion. Anyway, that's it for today. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you're new to my channel, I would love to have you back, so please do subscribe and hit that notification bell if you do wish to continue watching my channel. I do also want to mention again that if you're interested in any of the things that I'm selling, do visit my Instagram, FashionablyAMY's Closet. I currently have the Gucci Marmont belt in brown color on sale. I have a Fendi sweater, the Zuka print sweater, that I decided to let go as well, which I hardly wore, but it's in super good condition. So I know that right now is the trend, and right now is the time to get it if you guys are interested. I also have a couple leather jackets. I have my LV Alma there as well if anyone's interested. I know it's not a very popular bag, so I'm just putting it out there in case you are looking for it, but if you're not, that's fine. And possibly I might let go of my Marmont. I'm not sure, but if you guys are interested, just let me know, and we'll just go from there. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a great week, and I'll talk to you again very soon. Bye!